how small daily habits quietly shape your entire future. You think your life is shaped by big decisions. The job you choose, the city you move to, the relationship you enter or leave. You think is the dramatic moments, the ones that feel significant, the ones you can point to on a calendar that determine your future. But that's not how it works. Your life isn't built in grand gestures. It's built in tiny, almost invisible moments, small choices, quiet routines, habits so subtle you barely notice them. And yet they are the blueprint of who you are becoming. You think your future is far away, but it's happening right now, in the smallest things you do without thinking. Let me paint you a picture. You wake up and reach for your phone before you even open your eyes fully. You scroll for 15 minutes, maybe more, and you don't think much of it. It's just a habit, just something you do. But what you don't realize is that you've already trained your brain to look outward before looking inward. Before you've even had a chance to think your own thoughts, you've absorbed everyone else's. Their opinions, their moods, their noise. That one unconscious habit, done hundreds of times, is slowly reshaping how you see yourself and the world. That's the power of small things. They feel harmless, but their weight is cumulative. Or take the moments when you're stressed. Maybe you cope by snacking, or by scrolling, or by zoning out. Nothing dramatic, nothing destructive, nothing you'd label as a problem. But the brain learns through repetition. What you do in moments of tension becomes what you do every time tension appears. And suddenly, without realizing when it happened, you've created a cycle. A way of soothing yourself that might not support the life you say you want. Habits are not born from intention. They are born from repetition. And repetition doesn't ask your permission. Think about your thoughts. You don't notice how often you criticize yourself. How often you say, I can't do that, or I'm not good enough, or maybe tomorrow. You think they're just passing thoughts. But every time you think them, you deepen the neural pathway that makes those thoughts easier to think again. You rehearse them, you strengthen them, and over time, they become your identity not because they were true, but because they were familiar. Habits happen in the mind first, long before they show up in your actions. And then there's the flip side. The tiny good habits you underestimate. Drinking a glass of water when you wake up, standing outside for 2 minutes of sunlight, cleaning the space around you, writing one sentence in a journal, reading one page, doing 10 seconds of deep breathing. None of these things feel life-changing in the moment. They feel small, almost embarrassingly small, but that's the point. Small habits bypass resistance. They slip beneath the radar of your perfectionism, your fear, your self-doubt. They allow you to become better in ways you barely notice until one day you do notice, and by then, the change has already taken root. The truth is the life you want isn't built in sudden breakthroughs. It's built in small, consistent choices that align you with the person you're trying to become. But you've been trained to chase intensity, to believe that change only counts if it's massive, if it's hard, if it's dramatic. So you ignore the little things, you dismiss them, you call them insignificant, and because of that, you underestimate the quiet power they hold. Let's talk about identity. Not the identity you show the world, but the one you whisper to yourself when nobody's listening. Your habits reflect your identity more accurately than your dreams do. You can want to be confident, but if your small habits involve avoiding difficult conversations, hiding your real thoughts, shrinking your presence, they are shaping you into someone who believes their voice doesn't matter. You can want to be healthy, but if your small habits involve skipping meals, forgetting water, staying sedentary, ignoring your body, they shape you into someone who sees wellness as optional. Identity isn't built by telling yourself who you are. It's built by showing yourself day after day in micro actions that accumulate. And here's the painful part. Your habits today are training you for a future version of yourself, whether you like it or not. The question is, are they training you for the person you want to be or the person you're trying to outgrow? Most people don't realize they're practicing every day, practicing impatience, practicing self-sabotage, practicing avoidance, practicing insecurity, not intentionally, but consistently. And consistency is what rewrites the brain. You think you'll change when life gets calmer, when you feel more motivated, when the time feels right, but the time is never right. The time is always now. The future is being written in small, invisible ink your daily actions. The things you repeat, the choices you default to, the things you do without thinking, the things you do when you're tired, stressed, or unmotivated. Those things shape you more than your best days ever will. But here's the part that matters most. Small habits can save you. You don't have to transform your life overnight. You don't need a massive plan or a new identity or a burst of inspiration. You need one tiny shift, one habit so small your mind can't reject it. You can start with 2 minutes of movement, 1 glass of water, 1 moment of stillness, 5 words in a journal, a single line of learning, something that tells your brain, we're changing, slowly, but definitely. And when you repeat that small habit, you send yourself a message, one that's louder than any affirmation. I'm someone who chooses intentionally. I'm someone who moves toward the life I want. That identity, once formed, becomes the foundation for bigger habits, more intentional routines, more aligned choices, and suddenly the future that used to feel impossible starts to feel inevitable. The small things matter more than you realize, more than you want to believe. Because the truth is, the small things are the big things. They just don't reveal themselves until later. And one day, you'll look back at who you became and realize it didn't happen all at once. It happened quietly, slowly, daily, in the habits you thought didn't count.